Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teaches Noob. Today I have with me Liana.
Hello.
And moment of silence for the loss of Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, I don't know when this is
Well,
gonna air, but
this is gonna air well after it, but as of this
yeah,
recording,
but we're recording it. Yeah, so if we seem a little like Lasai, that is why.
yeah, it's because of that, and kind of fitting because we're going over Flashpoint Beyond.
Yeah, which we picked before this happened, didn't we?
Yeah,
The universe.
well,
Okay.
horrible timing, horrible timing.
It's
What's
horrible
your
timing
history
or
with
poignant
Flashpoint? I
timing.
think remember you talking about it. Right.
I
What's your history with
am
Flashpoint?
Yeah,
Right.
my thing about Flashpoint was really cool when they came with the idea of it. A lot of DC's best sort of
Mm-hmm.
major events are to fix some sort of continuity problem. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Flashpoint has been so done to death at this point. It seems like the only Flash story anybody bothers to tell anymore. So I like so
Well,
many
they've
things
done
in
it in.
comics.
Oh, I think there's a delay. I think there's a delay.
Oh shoot. Okay. But yeah, like so many other things in comics, I have my grumpy points about Flashpoint. But that's when I'm best, is when I'm slightly grumpy
Mm-hmm.
about things, especially when we're talking about Batman. We
Right.
should be a little bit grumpy in all things Batman.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
cuz
yeah,
okay, so here
we
we are.
open up.
Oh,
Uh,
oh
uh,
there
uh,
it go.
yeah,
Okay.
there is a
It
delay.
picks
There is a delay.
it it pixelated for a minute there and then went hopefully it'll fix itself. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Um, why don't you leave and come back quickly?
Okay. Sure. Here we go.
There we go.
Is that any better?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
All right then. So yeah, we open up as we see the Time Masters layer as Batman comes in, and we find the old Brip Hunter chalkboard. History.
5G averted, kind
Yep.
of.
Story
Okay.
irrevocably, history irrevocably damaged. Must travel beyond Omniverse. What's beyond it? To where? Fall of the Justice League. Why is
Why
Deathstroke
is
not
Deathstroke not acting like Deathstroke?
imposter?
Uh,
Beware, he will find his son. Do not interfere. His daughter will rejoin the Justice Society to save it. So yeah,
so much salt on 5G.
yep. And he finds a time bubble. He finds the stuff about the divine continuum, which is the omniverse and hypertime. And Batman, known as the marionette and the mime, are with him from Doomsday Clock.
Yeah. 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 Doomsday Clock's another thing I'm ambivalent on.
Well, I already went over that with someone else, so
Yeah. I think everybody's sort of ambivalent on Doomsday Clock, in part because they botched the rollout, right?
true. But
Yeah.
yeah, Batman is there trying to find the snow globe, not just any snow globe.
A very special snowflake snow globe.
Well, that, but also it's the snow globe that Laurie used.
Right. Yeah.
And a watch too. So, and we also find out that as was set up, Marionette and Mime had their second child, Anita. But yeah, why does Batman want it? Well, we'll get to that later as we see the Flashpoint world is completely reborn. Thomas, boss, wake up. Oswald, I know drinking 57-year-old Latiquay is more fun than facing Judge Dent's allegations, but you're going to be charged with murder if you don't do what he asks. What? You better sober up before Wayne. Too late. Drunk again. Dr. Wade has a rough night. I gotta say, that's one thing I liked about with the Flashpoint stuff is how Cobblepot was his Alfred.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're sort of doing retellings of Oswald Cobblepot because of what they're doing in the Batman universe, film-wise. Since that's the
No.
reimagining.
This was already set up as his Alfred back in the Flashpoint Batman mini.
Yeah, but the fact that they're bringing it back,
Right. But of course, Bruce is already feeling like, and Thomas is feeling like, no, this isn't right. Martha never became the Joker. Barry changed it all. Apparently, though, Harvey's upset because, as we saw in the last mini, his daughter got shot, but Batman saved her. But it turns out all the trauma that the Martha Wayne Joker had done to her caused the little girl to commit suicide.
because Batman comic.
Yep. Well, the whole idea is the world has been rebuilt, but it's even worse.
Yeah. Because less grimdark with DC always means a drift toward more grimdark.
But of course, Thomas is feeling like Barry changed it back. We stopped it all. And then he also mentioned, like, I helped Bane out. Then I remember Darkseid. I should be dead. So basically, that's acknowledging all the stuff from City of Bane and from Justice League Incarnate. I don't know if you read those.
Yeah, sorry. It's I was looking at the color wash. They use the yellow in this. That's pretty good.
Oh, it's Eduardo Riso. What do you expect?
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yep, we're then finding out that apparently the war is won and Atlantis won.
Atlantis. Oh, that's right. They went back to the yellow background logo for this. I remember reading about that. That's right. Yeah.
And Thomas is trying to figure out what's going on. He doesn't understand the look of it. Who wrote Everything Matters? Who wrote that? Is that you, son? Are you back?
Not loving that suit design.
Eh.
Not loving that.
I've
never been a thick Batman fan.
Right, but I do like how Thomas is questioning things already. He's not accepting it.
I've never been big on the bring back Thomas Wayne storylines. Batman's parents were always sort of more plot points than people in a lot of ways. And but no. I just started reading comics long before all the hush and blah and this sort of stuff. So it's just I never quite adjust to Thomas Wayne as bad guy storylines.
Now here we're actually getting Flashpoint Barry Allen. It's in the Barry Allen of the Flashpoint universe.
Yeah.
I do like that idea. Of course, then Thomas approaches him and says, yes, I'm Thomas Wayne. You remember me? Of course, he remembers him in the context of this world, which makes Thomas, he's talking to him, thinking you're still the Barry I know, when he's not. So he decides, I'm going to make you into it. So he injects him with a sedative to knock him out, takes him there so he can recreate everything. And then, because he remember what Barry did before, so he knows it'll work.
He knows it'll work because strapping someone to an electric chair and pumping him full of shit, what could possibly go wrong? It's Batman.
Well, an Atlantean assassin destroys the chemicals.
Okay, that's awesome.
Which without the chemicals, well, Barry just gets fried.
It's just an electric chair. Like I said, what can possibly go wrong?
A lightning-powered electric chair.
Yeah.
So Barry's dead.
Barry's dead, and if he comes back, we'll kill him again.
And apparently then at the same time, Harvey Dent's car is bombed, and only his son survives. Unfortunately, Harvey's dead. Batman then goes and stops the assassin, who basically saying that Aquaman had sent him here. Said you were going to use Barry Allen to change things. He said I had to kill him. So yeah, of course this guy's taunting him, and of course naturally Thomas kills him.
Because yeah,
we already know that he's capable of doing that.
Yeah, because he's thick Batman.
Oh, by the way, Commissioner Gordon the commissioner in this one is Commissioner Gigante.
Okay.
From Long Halloween and Dark Victory.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that kind of makes sense in this twisted world.
That's a signpost to sort of what sort of reality this one is.
But we're then seeing um oh, what's his name? Oh jeez. The guy with the golden mask. Psycho Pirate.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
freaking
of
out.
course, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's all Psycho Pirate does these days.
But of course, then we see Batman. We see Thomas's letter, which last I checked got shredded by Elbert Eobart's on, Reverse Flash. But oh
Yeah, yeah.
well. Hey, Wayne, I told you to go away. This isn't going to end well for you or your dad. It's incredibly disruptive, you know. You keep saying that as if I care. What you're doing could threaten everything, all of space and time, the divine continuum itself. Divine continuum. DC!
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like this. Space, the multiverse, metaverse, dark multiverse, the sphere of gods, hypertime, limbo, and vanishing point.
It's so everybody knows exactly how they divvy things up.
And they do explain a bit more
Meta.
later. And considering the number of times I've saved the divine continuum, it owes me one. This is going to come back to haunt you. I'm not chosen. If you could stop me, kid, you would have already. Maybe you don't need to worry about me alone. But then we see this guy named Corky Baxter. Who's basically saying that Rip's going to come after Batman soon.
Yeah.
Now we're getting to the main mini, which I think is going to be a faster read. I assure you.
That's a better interpretation of that batsuit.
Yep. We get a summary of Flashpoint. We have the whole thing's called the Clockwork Killer.
Yeah.
We get summaries about how the worlds are, and we find out that Harvey's son, Thomas, has taken him in
Right.
because his mother is in Arkham.
Because the more things change, the more things stay the same.
Again, I do like Oswald as the butler. It kind of fits him.
Anytime they try to do something different with a Batman character, I'm like, even if I don't like it, it's like at least you tried.
Right. Of course, Dexter, that's the boy's name, is going to be told to stay behind.
Dexter, oh boy.
Yep.
Okay.
Listen, kid, your dad, Judge Dent, he was a decent man. My condolences. Real talker, huh? Stay here a minute, would ya? When you said you needed my help, I didn't expect it was the babysit. Like, what do I feed it? Like, I'm sure you'll figure it out, Oswald. Yeah, sure. It's just, after what happened to his dad and his mom and his sister, shouldn't he be getting some professional help? This is no place for a kid, is it? Your clock is 11 minutes slow, by the way. It's broken.
That meta. Shouldn't he be getting some professional help? Nah.
Of course, Dexter wants to learn how to shoot a gun, which gets Oz will be like, what kind?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one kind of professional help, right?
Yep. Of course, he gets his gun as we find out like Oliver Queen murdered, the son, someone known as the son of Saturn, dead.
Mm.
And Batman right now thinks it's the Atlanteans. And one of them has been captured, wrapped up in her own lasso.
Hmm.
And whoever this squid face is, Batman's trying to help, trying to save her.
Whoever this squid face is.
Well, what else would I call him?
Yeah, exactly. There's no setup, just squid face. Yeah.
But yeah, so basically he's asking her to help him. Meanwhile, we see Arthur just sitting on his throne. Orcus on his throne. And then, but then the lasso's wrapped around him. You sent one of your assassins to kill Barry Allen. Why did you do it? Who asked you? Why? Peasant! Basically, now he's trying to say, like, whoever sent the scavenger, it wasn't me. So apparently he was framed.
World's greatest detective.
Well, not this one.
Yeah, not this one. But
then Diana kills him. She gets payback.
Yay. She's got the armor. Yay. Okay.
Your reign is over, Emperor, and so is man's. You fool, Arthur. I loved you. I love Mara. You killed my only queen. My deal is done. Unless you wish to try and stop me, No, I got my answer. So he let it happen.
Yep. 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 Grim
Meanwhile,
dark.
working on the gun and getting the kids are pretty good with guns.
Professional help.
So yeah, he wants him to go check in the security system. Meanwhile, back in the main DC universe, we see Barry ran up to Batman, telling him that apparently Eobard's son is back again. Don't worry, it's
Dun,
not going to
dun,
last long.
dun. Don't worry, it's not gonna last
It's
long.
not.
Ah.
But after everybody's gone, again, Corky's taunting him more. Do I mean how this is a breeze through? Because really, the Flashpoint stuff's not all. It's important, but it's not important.
No, it's not. We get the idea, right? I think it's for people who haven't read in a while and
No,
they
but no,
think,
it does lead up to something. It does lead up to something
Mhm.
important, but it kind of meanders there.
Yeah.
As we're finding out there's more killings going on. Oh, and Wayne Casino's been blown up. Completely off screen.
We didn't want to draw it. That's a cool page.
So Batman Thomas decides to head in there to meet up with Psycho Pirate. He's dead.
Dun dun dun. Wow, they're just blowing through crisis deaths, huh?
Yep. And it's up in the air if this is the real Psycho Pirate or not just a copy.
Right. It's staged.
Oh, but then we see Mrs. Dent, Glinda Dent, taunting him until eventually when she finds out about what happens to Dexter, he's asking her questions. She's looking it over, and of course, it's two-sided.
Mm-hmm.
But when Batman refuses to help her, as she taunts him, saying, "You drive your wife mad," what eventually does she do? Slams her face. Well, he punches the glass, and then she slams her face against it, scarring her face.
Dun dun dun. The
So we
more
got Lady
things
Two-Face.
change. Now we got Lady Two-Face.
Yep. The Batman shows up, fights them all. Of course, like, I'm warning you, mate, stay back. Try it now. Oh, that's Captain Boomerang.
Poor Captain Boomerang.
Then Superman shows up.
Right. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're seeing Batman still talking with Corky about the snow globe, as he's still taunting him, saying that this is important. And that the big difference between them is that there's no one left to come looking for Jenny Slater's watch. But now that you took the snow globe out of our time vault, you might as well have written your own obituary. Yeah, you can definitely tell Corky is an ass.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole thing about here with Superman was we find out, turns out Krypton didn't blow up. And that
Yeah.
Superman was sent to be the advanced scout of an alien invasion. Not that he wants it. Well, yeah, we also find out Eobard's son is trying to yell for help, but he disappears.
Mm-hmm.
He helps out Batman out. Batman, of course, punches him, and again, the whole point of this is we're seeing a bit with Glinda wanting to find her son. We find Poison Ivy's working with Superman and the others. And look at the menagerie she's made. And basically here, instead of made of crystals, the Fortress Solitude is made of the green.
That's cool. That's cool.
Even right down to, and they also have Swamp Thing to help. But
Swamp
we also have,
Thing. Well,
yep,
of course,
look at
if it's
this.
the green.
Look at this. If you are receiving this, my son, it means you have survived. And that means we could too. Yeah, make it very clear. Yeah, they want to rule and conquer Earth.
Yeah, the same story they used in Superman and Lois, also overseen by Geoff Johns.
Yep. Of course, though, Thomas is feeling like nothing's going to matter soon. He feels like this world's just going to die again. We have to find out.
Well, he
Reverse Flash
understands
is
how
dead.
DC editorial makes decisions.
Yep, Reverse Flash, he's dead too.
Dun dun dun. Someone
Again.
had fun there.
Yep. Dick. Meanwhile, we're seeing Corky's sister, Bonnie. They're heading through there saying that the dark crisis is happening currently. They need to stay in there, otherwise their history will change. And Hypertime has enough problems to deal with.
It's a nice page.
Yep. We then see Eobard Sawn dead. So
This is always my issue with these big DC crossovers. Is a cool thing like
isn't it a
the
crossover
Fortress
though?
of
It's just a
Solitude.
mini.
Yeah, but I mean the Poison Ivy and Batman and Superman with the Fortress of Solitude being a green. I'd want 12 issues in that world, not just a little glimpse. And that's what I always find so frustrating about this stuff is you get a cool idea for 3 or 4 pages and then it's gone. You
Right.
know, buy 24 other books to find out what happens.
Yep. Well, here Thomas finds there was a clock shoved into Reverse Flash.
Because sure.
Meanwhile, Dexter goes into the Batcave and he decides he's going to be Robin. Don't get scared now. He wants to go to his mom. And the kid's actually pretty good. I like this. How he's actually like, I have to put this clock back together. What? Why not? Like, are you kidding me? I'm talking about helping a kid who lost his sister to suicide and lost his father to murder. He doesn't need to know he lost his mom to madness too. I go myself, but you know that I'm not what they call the physical type. I actually like that. Again, he's coming very up much like the Alfred, but in a way that fits him.
Yeah, I mean, it is an interesting
Dynamic.
matchup. It's just I don't know. I think Alfred's been done so dirty.
Oh well, yeah. Dude, have you seen Batman versus Robin 3?
I don't. Every time I see something about Alfred, they're doing something awful to Alfred.
Oh, look at this
kid. He reminds me of that little guy in Peacemaker.
Yep. But yeah, he finds his mom who's hugging him really hard, but we also find out who the Clockwork Killer is. Who's killing all these time travelers?
DC editorial.
Nope. It's Martha.
Yeah.
She's still alive.
Martha.
No, she's still alive, in other words.
Cosplay. And cosplay. Yeah.
Yeah, basically now the snow globe is ready to blow. It is acting up because basically we are going to find out Bruce put his father in the snow globe to recreate the Flashpoint.
All right.
But this action is showing that Thomas is fighting it.
Because
and if he fights it, it's and if he fights it and it's destroyed, and if it escapes, it'll destroy the their timeline.
Because it's the worst timeline.
Yep. But basically, this is where we finally get the explanation about the difference between the different types of crises. Let me explain. When you're referring to the omniverse, you're referring to all of space, but not the other half of existence, time. The omniverse has been disrupted and transformed on a handful of occasions, but afterward it stabilizes, including the metaverse, which is our universe, and the one from which all multiverses are born. At its core, the omniverse and its multiverses are conceptual in nature, while hypertime is emotional. Therefore, hypertime is never stagnant because it reacts and changes with us, perpetually growing and splintering off into an endless number of timelines. At every major personal crossroad, a choice is made, and it is at these times of great importance. So basically, in other words, it's bringing back the idea for every choice you make, it splits off, but it's keeping that for hypertime, not the multiverse. Oh, they compare the parallel Earths to a Tinder date.
Oh boy. Wow. Okay. This is what happens when Geoff Johns tries to be Grant Morrison.
I think he's pulling. It makes sense to me.
Well, this is editorial stuff. This isn't him. I'm just being snarky.
Now, apparently, Raish. Nope, sorry. I was saying, apparently, Raish is alive again somehow. Cool. No explanation.
Cool. I'm fine with that. Whatever. Welcome back. He'll come back. They'll kill him again.
And somehow he got Thomas's ashes and gives it to the great detective.
Okay.
And helps him find him on his way. This is all what happened led up to everything. One day after the Flashpoint was recreated. So it's only been a day.
A lot can happen in a day. One bad day. One bad day.
Yep. But yeah, so there, and Martha I gotta say, I like the idea of the Martha Joker.
It's a good cosplay.
Well,
It's a
not just
good
that,
cosplay. I can see people cosplaying that character because it's a cool look.
but yeah, we basically find out she's been killing all of them. Why? Turns out she was listening in to Psycho Pirate as he told her about the multiverse, and she saw it back to when Thomas said about saving Bruce.
I mean, this is the exact same twist they pulled with what is it, Identity Crisis, where Jean Loring was dead. No, she wasn't. She was the killer.
No, 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 no. That's not what happened.
Is it something like that happened?
No, it was Elastic Man, Elongated Man's wife who got killed, and then it was later revealed that it was Jean Loring.
Yeah, but they said Jean Loring was gone, and then she wasn't, and then it
No,
was Jean Loring that did it all. There was some
no,
weird fake
no,
out.
no, no, no. They didn't do that fake out at all. They didn't know who it was, and when we saw Jean, she was perfectly fine and reasonable. It was towards the end that we found out she was batshit insane.
Because she killed Sue by stepping in her brain, right? I
Yep.
remember the fingerprints.
And
in her brain.
which you can understand that as the accent. It's the flamethrower that was overboard.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, what's going on with
Yeah, she started killing anyone else that would get in her way.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because she found the time bubble. And she wants to take Thomas to leave and save their son. She's
Again,
actually
cool
offering them
cosplay. I do like that cosplay.
Yeah, but yeah, so basically offering a chance to leave the Flashpoint. And then we see Rip Hunter show up and is ready to say, yeah, he's going to stop Bruce one way or the other. It is clearly more of an asshole Rip than what we saw in Booster Gold.
Yeah, that seems to be the way they like to go.
But yeah, basically, Batman saying how, oh yeah, apparently Rip's the master all the time, but he's still wrong. So he's basically saying, give me a chance. Let me prove it. Of course, Rip feels like there's not going to be a chance. Batman grabs it. We then see Martha's taunting him, saying, like, let's go save our son together. And I do like this again. This dynamic that shows that she still loves him, even though she's insane. You know what I mean? I mean, see, they still care for each other.
It's so
you don't like it?
I don't know. It's just that particular splash. It's visual imagery as opposed to actually defining a relationship in real terms. It's a tick of Batman comics that has just been done so many times. I just think of all the other times in my brain. But like I said, it's a cool cosplay.
But anyway, Martha's basically saying none of this matters.
Right.
She's basically being just like Thomas was. None of this matters. But then Glinda is basically saying then, let's destroy it all. I don't want to be split in two like this anymore. Harvey's the one who's supposed to be the monster, not me. Again, we're seeing Batman dealing with Rip as he's revealing how, and they're talking about how everything's worse, far worse. Basically, the whole point of this is to make it worse so that Thomas would have a reason to leave.
Right.
But of course, Dexter's saying, if you do it, what happens to me? Oh, that's Corky's his raccoon. It's actually alive.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Named Crockett.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Rip made a hammer.
Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, but things are getting worse. But then Batman decides he's going to save Dexter. And then, but then Glinda sets off a bomb that destroys the time bubble. And basically saying, like, my son isn't supposed to exist. And neither are you. So in other words, Martha actually was not driven more insane by her revelation. But Glinda was.
Well, I mean, Glinda, yeah, she has reasons.
Yep. So, of course, then they save her, like, what are you doing? Being a fool. Shoots her. I realized that that may have been a touch traumatizing. Boom. They run out there. And now, look, Thomas and Martha and a little boy.
Watching it all burn.
But with that, the light dies. The light went out. What's going on, Rip? Please don't yell, Corky. I know, but he's saying it's all screwed up. No. Why not? Because my father proved you both wrong. Basically, yeah, the globe is stabilized. even with a living paradox imprisoned in it. Bruce gambled his entire universe. Why? Because of his father's letter. Because he made it clear he wouldn't do pull such a thing. And now the world is actually starting to stabilize more. Batman and Thomas is accepting Dexter as his Robin. They're actually asking for Batman's help. Martha is actually recuperating using her own context though, and they're ready to go after the Kryptonians. Let's kill some Kryptonians. Well, she's still nuts. And then we find out like, which Batman are you talking about? Take Corky saying, let's just go change his and mess up with his origin again. Because Corky just wants to stick it to him because of how big of a risk Batman made.
Don't blame him.
Of course, Rip then says he's going to have a handful with his mother's family soon. Not warning him will be punishment enough. But we also find out during it all, 13 time capsules were ruptured. Golden Age Miracle Man, Betsy Ross, Molly Pitcher, the Golden Age Legionnaire, Ladybug, Quiz Kid, Salem the Witch Kid, the Golden Age Aquaman, Cherry Bomb, Harlequin's son, the Harlequin's son, John Henry Jr., Judy Garrick, and the Golden Age Red Lantern. And unfortunately, Per Degaton is going to be dealing with them. Then we find out, as set up from Doomsday Clock, Nostalgia, the girl who obsessed with Ozzy, who may be his superior, is trying to retrace the steps. So,
that's a cool suit.
Well, what did you think of overall?
It's we did another one where it was Geoff Johns doing Batman. It's not my favorite.
Well, this wasn't Joel Geoff Johns, though. This was also Jeremy Adams and Tim Sheridan. And from what I understand, Tim Sheridan was the one who pushed for the Dexter stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like DC repeating a lot of ideas they've repeated a lot of times.
True, but I think the whole important part was for this Golden Age, which we'll get to next time.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what it was. It was all set up.
Same with this. Stargirl's spring break special.
Okay, but Stargirl is Stargirl, and Stargirl tends to be happier than what they do with. I don't know.
But at least it's ending on a positive note for once.
I have trouble finding it positive when it's two people basically engaging in child abuse with a little boy watching the world burn.
True.
But at least in the real world, we would call that something these days. Yeah.
True, but at least Thomas is in a content place now. He's not obsessed with trying to find his son, and he's actually willing to stay there and fix his world.
Yeah, but that'll last 5 seconds because he's a deeply unhappy person.
True. Yeah. And Martha is still crazy.
Yeah, that... I don't know.
I do like that she's on the mend. I
like the design. I like the character design, but I just don't. The Joker is such a unique character that whenever they do, I get it's an alternate universe.
This is the story I skipped entirely during her time looking over. This is where we found out the Joker's real name.
Again,
Jack Oswald White.
Yeah.
And people were pissed. They're like, "Why is Geoff Johns doing it?" But it's like I said it before. Geoff Johns is doing for Joker what Ed Brubaker did for Bucky. It was so untapped for so long. He's thinking, why can't I answer things?
Well, I think DC needs some new ideas. And I hope with the movie and TV properties now being better run, we'll start seeing some new ideas in DC Comics. My issue with DC, I mean, the whole thing, I know they call it Flashpoint, but a lot of this feels a lot like Dark Kingdom Come.
True.
And this is my issue with DC, that the new ideas are just lacking. Let's take IPs, let's put another person in the body of the IP. Hope we'll get one we can use as a character we can put in a TV show. So it's an existing copyright that isn't a white dude. And it just feels cynical to me.
True.
Yeah.
But hey, but still though, it was still a decent story if you could definitely tell too many cooks though were in this
Oh,
one.
I can see people absolutely loving this because it's all the grimdark that Batman
Yeah, but
fans
am I
love.
right though? Too many cooks in this.
It is always a thing with a DC crossover series or like a one shot like this, where it's
Or a
just
mini. Well, this
image,
is just a
image, image,
mini.
image,
This is
image.
just a mini.
Yeah, but it's that DC thing of throw a bunch of splash pages at things. Nothing has any time to hang. It's overload and it's visual spectacle. But what depth did I really feel with it?
True.
Not a ton.
Yeah, not three Jokers have more depth.
Oh, at least it had a thesis,
Yeah, this
right?
again though. I think it's because Geoff Johns. The funny thing, Jeremy Adams and Tim Sheridan had the idea, and Geoff Johns jumped on it.
Yeah, Geoff Johns also does something. He does things he does really, really well. I said this before. I have high hopes for Golden Age
Mm-hmm.
because that's what he does well.
Wait till we get to that. We'll get to that next
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I have high hopes for it because that's what Geoff Johns does well. His Batman, I am never a big fan of. He seems
Well,
to.
Batman plays into Golden Age.
Yeah, but Geoff Johns' Batman, he always seems to be forcing the grimdark because it's not.
That I
He
think,
doesn't connect to it the
to a
way he
degree,
connects to the hope.
I
Yeah.
think though, I think it's also though he's trying in many regards to undo the damage that people make him the Bat God.
Yeah, I just his characterizations of Batman always go too far, and I know he's not the only writer to do it. It's just I don't know. I have a lot of issues with the way, and I know there's other books in DC right now that do more of the Silver Agey Batman, but Batman again, I say this every time we do a Batman thing. Batman needs a major rethink in the DC universe to keep the essence of the character while modernizing him so it's not really irresponsible.
True.
He's not an anti-hero anymore. And Batman was never intended to be an anti-hero. He's intended to be a
Hmm.
hero that had to make tougher calls. And more he's sliding into anti-hero or
I
downright.
I do think
Yeah.
that's why Jeff's trying to fix it. I do think Jeff is trying to fix it.
It's DC editorial.
Well, yeah, they're the ones who let Tom King almost destroy him. I'll say this. Say what you will.
Mhm.
At least they let someone like Tinian reconstruct Batman after King deconstructed him. Unlike say Marvel, who keeps on deconstructing Tony Stark, then they end it, and the next creator decides I'm going to deconstruct him further. It's like, what's left of Tony now?
Yeah, we can spend an hour on my issues with deconstruction comic
Mhm.
books.
Right.
All we've got
Next
is bits
time.
of Lego now. There's
Next time.
nothing left to deconstruct. We are at Derrida right
Yeah.
now in the
But
DCU.
that's for a
Next time.
topic for another time.
That's right. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
next time we'll be having a 2-in-1 video as we go over Stargirl Spring Break and the
Yay!
new Golden Age. And we'll see you all then. Take care.